welcome back to the 2025 Tire Rack One Lap of America presented by Grassroots Motorsports Magazine. Media coverage this week brought to you by HP Tuners. We are back for the afternoon session here at Hedge Hollow. We're going to be with you through about the first, I would say, 4 or 5 run groups. And then we are going to get on the road and start screaming towards Bowling Green. We got our first group lining up, getting ready to go. We'll be able to see here shortly how many cars moved up and down the run order. And we're just a few seconds away from Super K getting started on his outlap. So we'll be with you here shortly. Brought being brought.
Has to go.
And then we can adjust. You going?
We only got 8 hours to drive. Alright, so there goes Super K out. Followed by the Cunning Stunts Porsche. Team PGR is going to be next in the Model S. Team Goodyear is going to be next to roll off in their Porsche. I'm not sure if Nick or Josh are driving the afternoon session. I think it might be Josh today, or this afternoon. Shalil in the Porsche. And I think Bill's driving the Bingham Garage Corvette for the afternoon session. And Peter is in the Supra again this afternoon. So Peter's being stingy with the car today and not letting DJ drive. I think they're actually just swapping off. You drive a day, you drive a day. So here's where we are with that. So everybody's out circulating, getting ready to get this afternoon session complete where we can all take off towards Kentucky.
Walk into your shop. I'll stay back here.
Oh, you're good. You just like halfway up the fence.
But like here's okay?
Yeah, you're fine. So here comes Andy in the Super K, getting that last little bit of heat in the tires. So it looks like their little incident yesterday with the diff seal not holding them up at all. They were able to take the checkered flag before that failure. And after their run this morning, they're still top of the charts here at the pointy end of the field. They're still my favorite for overall this year. As long as they keep it clean and keep doing what they're doing, I really think they're going to be hard to beat the rest of the week. But there's still a lot of sessions left for anything to happen, and if you know one lap, over the years anything can happen and probably will happen. But I think we've got pretty good weather for the rest of the week. Hopefully we're going to have on Thursday afternoon, we're going to have drag racing from Quaker State Motorsports Park, just across the border from Pennsylvania over in Ohio. Just kind of looking forward to that. It'll be our first drag since 2019 when we were at Brainerd. Looks like we've got everybody slotting into to line. We've got 7 cars on track. There goes Andy in the Super K. Goodyear taking off there. That's Shalil down and away. Bill's away in the vet. And there goes Peter in the Super. So everybody is down and away. Their first of 3 laps here. And here comes Super K, finishing up lap number 1. And the Cunning Stunts Porsche is actually pulled a little bit out of that gap, as well as Andrew in the Team PGR Model S Plaid Edition. So it looks like out of the first 5 cars, nobody is really gapping the next car in line. So it looks like the gap between Shalil and Bill in the Penguin Corvette is about the same, or maybe just a little bit more than it was when they started. Peter using up a lot of that tarmac on exit of 1. Got our next run group getting in line here. We ought to be seeing Super K any second. Getting ready to start his third and final lap. And here comes Andy, topping the hill. Using every bit of track on that last corner, as well as a good bit on the exit of 1. So it looks like there's a little bit of a gap that was between the Super K and the Porsche, and it looks like a little bit of gap now between the Porsche and the PGR Tesla. There's Josh and the Goodyear Porsche. Shalil not far behind. Bill getting ready to come by in the Corvette. And here comes Peter in the Supra. Everybody's finished their second lap. Next car's by, we'll get the checker. And here's our next group. We've got both of the Smoko Motorsports Corvettes. We got the Red Rocket, the Michelin Corvette. Not sure how far we're going back, but we'll flip around here because we ought to be seeing Super K in just the next few seconds. And there is Andy. And the Cunning Stunts 911. Quite a respectable gap there. He took a couple of nice little nibbles out of that. I think he caught Super K on the first lap. I think the second lap was pretty even, and then the third lap he took another little chunk out of Super K's lead. Andrew in the Tesla. Andrew and Chad. And here comes Bill in the Penguin Garage Corvette. James Hodges giving a little wave to the crowd. And here comes Peter Lear, finishing up his third of his 3 laps, sorry, taking the checkered flag. So that is our first of the afternoon runs complete here. So happy Cinco de Mayo to all of you that celebrate the day of tacos. Well, I think we're gonna, once we get on the road, we're gonna try to find some wonderful tacos or burritos or enchiladas or something to celebrate the day with. Had some really good brisket at lunch today. Now we got everybody out on course for their afternoon sight-in lap. It belonged to one of the Porsches. I don't remember which one it was, but it was probably like 4th or 5th run group. I think the second Cardinal was in the same run group. Solomon checking to see who a splitter belonged to. We had a splitter on a Porsche from earlier that had some bright orange 200-mile-an-hour tape on it that lost said splitter out on track, and he got hit by another car and blown into about 1,000 pieces. So Solomon was going to be a gentleman and return it to them. You're fine.
I don't want to get in your camera.
We want you in our camera.
I know you don't.
We love you. We love our track personnel.
He's better off to go to Joplin across it. That he can get on 44 and take it back to St. Louis and see he loses all of this and then this.
Yeah, but 44, it adds an hour from here to Springfield.
I'd like to point out that car is in the same class as our car.
Well, it is a hybrid.
Uh-huh. It sure is.
It's a hybrid that's been massaged by Lingenfelter.
In all the right way.
It's ridiculously loud.
In all the right way. I started looking at the enter sheet and I was like, alt fuels. That's a cheat code.
Yeah, that is definitely a cheat code. Scott last to leave in the Shadow Buddies Porsche. So we got everybody out on track for run group number 2 in the afternoon session here. We'll just be seeing the 2 Smoko Corvettes in the next few seconds. I hear the E-Ray back there on the back side of the track making E-Ray type noises. There's the first of the 2 Corvettes. Here comes the E-Ray. I think Scott's one of those drivers that has been here a few times. He's sort of local to the area. So I think he's got a few more laps here at Hedge Hollow than most of the other competitors do. still chomping at the bit to get closer to the other Smoko Motorsports Corvette. Making some real nice tire sounds there. Here comes the Michelin Corvette. Getting the grip out of those Pilot Sport All Seasons.
Paved it way out there, might as well use it all. I'm not in the shot now. No one wants to see me.
Reg, Scotty's right there. Mike's in the car in the red Rocket, so he's making tracks. So it's going to be interesting to see if the E-Ray got around the other Smoko Corvette. They were very close, and we should be seeing them any second here. I think they're in that last little complex of corners. And yes, the E-Ray did get around him. Got around him by a good bit. Corvette with its flashers on as Mike Babcock finishes off in the red Rocket. The Michelin Corvette finishing up. Not sure which driver was in for this afternoon. our next group's headed out. We got Scott in the Cardinal. Got the Forsyth Supra. Kevin Welsh in his Porsche, followed by Rob Bowen in the Parts Farm Porsche. We got the On the Ledge Racing Camaro right behind Rob. JD Kroll. And I think that's that final Porsche that went out is Ray Guerrero. Takes us a few days to learn all the new people each year. And sometimes it takes us a little while to remember the people that have been here for years.
Just give him a different team number. It's totally fine. We got Scott and Mike and Kevin rolling up to the start line. We're going to leave you on this shot right quick. We're going to run check on something so you'll be able to see everybody take off, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Okay, guys, we are back just in time to see Ray take off to begin his 3 laps. Here comes Scott in the Cardinal, finishing up his first lap. Followed by Mike Forsythe in their Supra. Kevin Welsh. Like these three have opened up a little bit of a gap, but they have closed the gap between the three of them pretty good. Rob Bowen and his 911. Comes the On the Ledge Racing Camaro. J.D. Kroll. And Ray Guerrero. Everybody's out on their second of 3 laps. So after every one of the teams finish today, they get to load their gear back up in their cars and take off for a 500 and almost 540 mile transit down to Bowling Green, Kentucky, where we'll be tomorrow at NCM Motorsports Park, just right across the interstate from the National Corvette Museum and the Corvette Assembly Plant there in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So we see Scott starting his 3rd lap. Followed closely by Mike Forsythe in the Supra and Kevin Welsh in the Porsche. Looks like Kevin may have pulled about another half second to second on Rob on this 2nd lap. Rob looks like he's lengthened the gap on the Camaro. Let's see what kind of gap he's opened up on JD. It's about the same to JD Kroll in the Porsche as he goes by. And then now we're just waiting on Ray Guerrero in the number 23 Porsche. Here he comes. everybody's on their third and final lap here. Looks like our next group coming out is going to be Mark John Trierweiler in the Camaro, Chris Brierly in the Shaky Dog Racing Roto-Rooter Corvette. Got the Hart Racing Acura Integra. Not sure if Chad or Justin is in the car this afternoon. I'll be able to tell here in just a moment. Another one of our loud pedal Camaros. The Forsyth Supra and Kevin Welsh got around the Cardinal. Don't know if the Cardinal had an off somewhere on the track. And Rob looks like he gained a good bit of time on that group. Comes the Camaro. And there's JD, and we're just awaiting the arrival of Ray in the 23 Porsche. And here he comes over the crest. Take the checkered flag. And that's all she wrote for that run group. Like I said, our next group, we've got Mark John, Chris Brierly. Let's see if we can see who's still can't tell if that's Chad or Justin in the Acura. And then it looks like Justin's going to be in the Camaro behind. The second of the Cardinals. I think Brian DeFries is going to be at the wheel. And we've got the HP Tuners Supra. That's either going to be Adam Spence or Jake Sanders. I think Jake drove the morning session. And then right behind him is Rockin' Randy Popes in the Roush Stage 3. It was a lot smaller track, like half the size. This track is so long. So here we go, Mark John out, Chris Brierly out. I think that's going to be Chad in the Acura Integra. And then Justin in the Camaro. Brian DeFries in the second of the Cardinals. And it appears to be Jake running the Supra again this afternoon. And Randy Post in the Roush Performance Stage 3 Mustang. A lot of battery
depends
So
on
everybody's out on track now,
how you're using it. But yeah,
running
solid state
their
battery tech is
sight-in lap.
the lighter. You take 200 pounds out of a car, it's great. If you take 800 pounds out of a car, oh my god. Yeah,
They're super hard to make.
they are. They are.
Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, I agree with Zach. I mean, I like cars and all, but as far as transportation, I love it. I think it's, I think I love this. Near the first year,
What is it again?
this is that's the Model 3.
Okay.
And I've got like 18,000 miles
Right.
because I travel.
Right. That's one thing that we really didn't know here is David, who's driving right now, and we've never really this cross-country aspect of this, at least for the first 2 days. And we actually drove it back to Michigan the night before because we needed to get a couple more things from the movie. So we went back to Chelsea, came back to town. So we've done an extra 600 miles already, basically. We had a map. We had a plan.
So we got Mark
where
John
we were gonna stop.
rolling up
Stop.
to get ready for his 3 laps.
Was right. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. When are we going to get punched in the mouth? And we woke up yesterday morning. The hotel had a charger, but it only charged the car to 55%. And it didn't tell us that it cut off in the middle of the night. So we're going to Gateway yesterday with a car that really wasn't ready. So we had to find another charger on the way. It's crazy. And then our car, to condition the battery for track use, we have to have it plugged in and on. And you have to have a charger in order to condition the battery. So it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's fun. It's just so different.
We're just about ready. I think we're maybe waiting for 1 or 2 more cars to make it up to grid. And I think both of them are rolling up here. Yep, I see Randy. So Mark John's got the green. And he is away for his afternoon session. Next up, we've got Chris Brierly in the Shaky Dog Racing Corvette.
Some of them, ours don't. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I could not travel in that car without it.
I think they have a timing loop
It's like all day.
malfunction. They're holding up Chris for just a moment. And they've now released him. Chad's down and away. Justin trying to attempt the longest burnout of the day at start. Got Freeze in the Cardinal. Jake's next to go in the HP Tuners Supra. And finally we got Randy Popes in the Stage 3 Roush Performance Mustang.
Auto drive was nothing where if I would run, and I crawled in for the 750 for one person.
Did that with a friend of mine's Hyundai, Ioniq 6. That's scary. I don't, we're trying to keep it between 20 and 80, just to be nice to the battery. And we're stopping every 100.
Here comes Mark John, finishing his first lap.
I do that anyway. I do it. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna use the rich guy. I'm gonna get coffee. I'm gonna do whatever. But you know, it's adding 7 to 10 minutes. So it's not. I thought it was gonna be. Like, I was. It's not like it's that.
Here comes Chris in the Shaky Dog Corvette.
I was prepared.
Chad in the Acura. Here comes Justin in the Camaro. Brian looks like he's pulled a bit of the gap out from between him and Justin in the Camaro.
Night before last, the folks traveling on a Hyundai, they found a supercharger out of Russia.
Here comes Jake in the Supra.
So coming out, we stopped there. I looked at David.
And Randy in the Roush. His first flying lap.
There are a handful of vehicles that are coming on board with the block. I think they're on there.
There's an ambassador, my brother-in-law just bought the SUV.
Okay.
And he, I mean, I sat
Some of the
Comes Mark John finishing up lap 2, starting his final lap of the day here at Hedge Hollow.
This is a giant hatchback. There's a performance blue one with grassroots motorsports.
yeah, don't they make like a, I think it's a half.
We try to get the names right, but with 85 teams, sometimes it is so difficult to get everybody's name, and we have to kind of look through the window to see who's driving. Sometimes we just have really bad brain fog and forget.
They simulate a dual clutch transmission.
Chris in his Shaky Dog Corvette. Chad Gilsinger in the Heart Racing Acura. And we got Justin in the Camaro. Being quite loud again. Brian DeFries and the Cardinal. And we got Jake from State Farm in the HP Tuners Supra. Of course, Jake is not from State Farm, but every time I say his name, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Wondering if he's wearing khakis. And here comes Randy Popes in the Roush Performance Stage 3. Beginning his final lap here this afternoon.
That's the car.
Mark John across the line. Finishing up a pretty respectable run. And guys, if you didn't know, you can always go to our website at onelapofamerica.com and check out the live timing. You know, we're having some growing pains with it, but slowly getting it all figured out to where you can almost get instant results. So you can check there to see how your favorite car is done over the day.
After about 30 seconds.
And if something looks out of place, just give it a little bit of time. They'll get it figured out shortly.
Yeah. But I was just like,
But little new technology for us. We used it last year, but every other day. But so this year we've got it every day, and just get it all streamlined so it works well over every single event. So we had Chad, and then like Chad got around Chris, maybe he had an issue, and then Justin in the Camaro finishing up. We got Brian DeFries in the Cardinal. Comes Jake in the Supra. And now we're just waiting on Randy in the Roush. And here he comes. That concludes this group. Next group out on track. Jim against Taylor. Dennis Shaw in the Team Springer Porsche. We got Mark Tice. His M4. Tom Sutter is going to be wheeling Hyundai this afternoon. Graphic Motorsports. Got Ed Lewis in the 24 BMW Goodrich. Honda Civic Type R. We've got Eric in the first of the Dad Bod R mod Lotuses. We have one more car added to the list on this run group. It's going to be 62 BMW Bowie Gray, but I think Bowie's co-driver Jeff is driving the afternoon session. And if we go further than that, so it looks like the BMW is going to be the last one in that group.
Because in the beginning, there's nothing out here.
And this will be our last featured run group of the day. We're going to get packed up and start heading towards Bowling Green so we can get a little bit of food, a little bit of rest, so we can bring you the action tomorrow from NCM Motorsports Park in beautiful Bowling Green, Kentucky. Hopefully we won't have rain and tornadoes like we did last year. If you guys remember the afternoon session, we got started and ran about 3 run groups, and then there were tornado warnings in the area, so they ended early and canceled that afternoon run session. So hopefully we'll be able to get both run sessions in tomorrow. It should be beautiful weather. Well, we got Tim and his Porsche making his way up to start finish. We're just about got everybody lined up here. Super K is laying it down this week. They've been putting a hurting on a lot of people. I think everybody was shocked with that 102 they laid down yesterday at Gateway, which was just an insane lap. So now we got, yes, Andy and Alex are a deadly team. When I was talking to Alex before the event, I asked him how the car was, and he goes, "It's the best that it's ever been." So that right there told me it's going to be scary. So Mark Matthijs in the M4 taking off, and now we got Tom Suttard in the GRM sponsored Hyundai. Ed Gliss in the Honda Civic Type R, sponsored by BF Goodrich, running those new Phenoms. Check out our interview with the BF Goodrich team if you want to learn more about those tires. Dad Bod Car Mod, fiddling around trying to find the next gear. I think we got Jeff taking off in Bowie's BMW.
He's got to get used to those shift going a bit better. First gear happens so fast though.
Bowling Green's going to be the same as today. It's 2 morning session, 3 laps, afternoon session, 3 laps. Just the only other thing that's going to be different the rest of the week are low ET and bracket drags from Quaker State in Ohio, weather permitting, on Thursday, and then the dry skid pad on Saturday morning from Tire Rack. But everything else this week is the same. We will run a morning session and an afternoon session each time. So there goes Mark Matthijs in the M4 comp. Comes Tom in the Ioniq 5. The Ioniq 5N. He's co-driving this week with Andy Hollis, world famous video game creator and multinational SCCA solo autocross champion. Andy calls me to waste a lot of time in my teenage years with games such as F-15 Strike Eagle 3, Jane's All the World Aircraft, all the really good combat flight simulators from the 1980s. Jeff and the BMW finishing up first lap. Andy is the authority in every tire. I tell you, he and Randy Popes combined have forgotten more about tires than anybody will ever know. I think all the tire companies have both of them on speed dial. So it looks like we have had a pass on track. Ben Schott in the Team Rumspringa Porsche has gotten around Tim in his Porsche. Here comes Mark Matthijs. He's closed that gap down a little bit. Comes Tom in the Hyundai. Using all that track. Like Brock Sr. always said, if it's paved, use it. If it looks like it should be paved, give it a try. Ed Gliss in the Civic Type R. If you noticed, all the Dad Bod Car Mod teams have graduated from crazily built Corollas to Lotuses. And I talked with them yesterday to see how many spare engines they brought, because every year they would have a trailer behind the car with a spare engine, and this year they said the only engines they brought were the ones that are in the cars. So here comes Ben around the final corner to finish off his afternoon session here at Hedge Hollow. You can see the gap that he has pulled off of Tim from the last lap, and the big chunk out of the gap that Mark Matthijs took out there on the Porsche as well. So it looks like a really good session for Ben and for Mark. Comes Tom across the start-finish line. Tim, it is a plethora of different tires this year. We've got a lot of people on the Contis. We got quite a few people on the Bridgestones. The Michelins are still, I think, the tire of choice over most people, but that Goodyear Supercar 3 is see quite a few more of those this year. And then, of course, on the Honda that just passed by, they're on the BF Goodrich Phenoms. So a lot of different manufacturers this year, again, even with the Yokohamas. And then I think all three of the Dad Bod Carmine Lotuses are running Falcons. And there are a few teams on the Falcons as well. So, but that was our last car to cross on this session. So we have got to get packed up and get on the road to Bowling Green. We will be with you tomorrow morning. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will know the second that we go live, so you don't miss any of the action tomorrow from Bowling Green or from here on out. So for this is the 2025 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsports Magazine. All of our media coverage this week brought to you by HP Tuners. So we will see you guys tomorrow morning from NCM in Bowling Green. And there should be a new daily update video that will be posted sometime this evening, and we might actually have two. So, like I said, subscribe and hit that notification so you know when any content from us goes live. And we will see you all tomorrow morning from Bowling Green, Kentucky.